Functional range conditioning, thoraco-lumbar spine cars, controlled articular rotations. The words thoraco-lumbar are simply referring to the spine from here to here. The lumbar spine being primarily the low back and the thoracic spine being primarily the ribs and the torso above here. We do our controlled articular rotations every day to maintain the health, mobility, and longevity of the joints of the spine. When you do your thoraco-lumbar spine cars, you need to ensure that your hips stay square. So I'd like you to avoid any swiveling of the hips side to side as we start to rotate the spine. I'd like you to avoid any thrusting of the hip forward or hinging of the hip backward. So I like to imagine perhaps I'm stuck in concrete from here down. I cannot move my hips in space. You're going to begin your thoraco-lumbar spine car by crossing your arms, hands up to the fronts of the shoulders, elbows packed into the tightness of the front of the chest here. And begin by tucking your chin down towards your chest this way. Now I'll turn to the side so you can see that the first movement is flexion of the spine. So what I want to begin with is my head and chin tucking down, then rounding my spine down and forward. I'm going to use my abdominal wall to achieve this. So I've got my chin tucked. I start to round my spine down and forward, contracting my abdominal wall, avoiding hip hinge, keep those hips square, until I found my end range and I cannot bring my spine any further down this way. From here, you're going to keep it down, and you are going to side bend your ribs and your spine over towards the left side. Watch out for the hip kicking out. Keep it square. Once you found your end range of motion of a side bend, lateral flexed spine, you're going to then rotate your spine, twisting it back towards the left side so that this left elbow here is reaching towards the back of the room, the back left corner here. I'm going to keep that forward side bend rotation as we start to extend the spine up. So from the side here, I'm forward, side bend, rotate. Keep all of that as you begin to extend your spine up. So you're going to lift it as high as you can up to the wall behind you, into spinal extension. Find your end range of motion, bring it up as high as you can. Squeeze your back muscles real tight. Now start to transition from here across back to your midline. Keep your back really solid and strong here. Continue by side bending over towards the right side. Watch out for the hip pitching out to the side. Find your end range of motion of side bend to your right. Rotate your spine from here towards the right side. Pull your right elbow back to the wall behind you or to that right hip. Continue on by bringing your spine back into that forward flexed position here. So down towards the ground, return back to your middle, and then roll back up one vertebra at a time. We'll then repeat it to the right side. So I begin by chin tucking down. I'm going to flex my spine forward and down till I cannot take it any further this direction, keeping my hips square. I'm going to then side bend the ribs and the spine over to my right side. I rotate from my end range of motion of side bend into end range of motion rotation here. Once I've got my rotation, my twist of the rib cage and spine, I start to extend my spine up and back. Watch the hip thrusting forward. Keep it nice and tight. Up, 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 up with the back till I cannot go any further. We continue by then bringing it across the midline to here. Side bending over to the left side. Rotate the spine and bring it back down to the front and then back to the middle. And you're going to roll yourself back up. So one rotation one way, one rotation the other way is technically one rep. So we do our spine cars every day, again, to maintain the health, mobility, and longevity of the spine. So that's the thoraco-lumbar spine cars, controlled articular rotations.